Another best girl awaits us. She's filler. Saiko Intelli. Saiko Intelli. Get it? Get it? Okay. Saiko Intelli is a second-year student from Seiyai Academy, a prestigious all-girls private boarding school. Seiyai means divine love, which appropriately suits sweet filler-san, since she appears to be the ojou-sama ringleader of the magical Sailor Girl Academy, who has her own little tea-making pos that unquestionably adores her, likely due to her beauty, intelligence, charisma, elegance, and status. She's your typical pompous, self-centered, bright, rich girl that only looks out for herself. The unending praise and loyalty most certainly caused her to develop an inflated ego, a rather familiar quality, yet the prideful holds different beliefs, with one being too prideful to accept the help of others and have innately imposed himself to solely rely on his abilities to merit success. Meanwhile, the other uses every available asset to further her own career and doesn't concern oneself with the ones that have taken part in her master plan. She most likely perceives her classmates more so as her followers rather than her friends. Like, she has them bringing her cakes and tea in the middle of an exam, yet it seems they're complying of their own accord. She hasn't experienced the virtues of selflessness in a sense of camaraderie. To be egoistic means to be selfish, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. The ego is our identity, and selfishness is self-preservation and natural instincts. Her ego simply has never expanded to include her classmates, presumably due to their follower mentality, her upbringing, or perhaps there is a huge disparity of self-worth between Saiko and her peers. Once Saiko realizes the importance of relationships and shares the connective appreciation for one another, her selfishness will develop into selflessness as she becomes more accepting of genuine friendship. Seiyai Academy seems to not foster individuality, evidently enforcing their students to wear identical school uniforms, rather than allowing them to display their respective hero uniforms, or clothing that reflects themselves, or this is filler and nobody cares. Her Quirk IQ temporarily enhances her already high intellect, an IQ of 150, multiplying it by unimaginable levels after consuming tea and closing her eyes to enter the mind palace, mentally devising the best possible plan for success by formulating strategies based on what she knows about and anticipating the many courses of action, but sudden and unsound variables are difficult to calculate into her equation. Different types of tea will have different effects on her. What a tease. There's milk tea, iced tea, and plenty of other possibilities. Kind of reminds me of a certain character with a high IQ that has a penchant for tea and sometimes is prone to be sadistic. The plan she devised for Phase 1 of the Hero License exam was designed to ensure safety and control as compensation for the idle time, awaiting unsuspecting individuals to step into their domain. In this instance, the targets were Momo, Tsuyu, Shoji, and Jiro. From the information she knows about each and every one of them, she conceived a plan on how they could render the 4 students' quirks useless.
私の勝利への方程式、すでに出来上がってましたよ。
Phase 1. Prevent Jiro from eavesdropping by jamming her earphone jacks with loud tunes.
第1段階終了。続いて第2段階開始。
Phase 2. Crack the windows to remove their sights on the outer side and also prevent anyone from moving aggressively and forcing their way out.
第2段階終了。第3段階開始。
Phase 3. Seal the window with reinforced shutters, weld their alternate doors shut to keep them from escaping, and steadily lower the temperature to disperse very cold air to make sleepy frappe. Kawaii. And force Momo to use her lipid supply, especially since Momo's quirk is the most unpredictable variable in Saiko's calculations.
サイ様、第3段階終了しました。
The only options Class 1A had were A. Break the wall or door to escape, but Saiko would probably have conceived numerous counters if that were to happen. B. Mitigate the cold with the use of Momo's creation quirk, which would be playing right into Saiko's hands. C. Endure the cold and wait for the enemies to approach them. Or D. Force their way out through the only path given to them with an injured Jiro and sleepy Frappe.
これこそが私の作戦。勝利の方程式でしたよ。
though it was the biggest 900 IQ misplay, ultimately due to a lack of a contingency plan and miscalculations on Saiko's part. To be fair, you can't fault her for not being able to foresee all spontaneous ploys made possible by a quirk that creates any object. Nonetheless, it was her arrogance that brought her downfall.
個性を使いなさい。その時があなたたちの最後でしてよ。
Underestimated Momo's ingenuity with her quirk, critical thinking, and the risk the students of the UA Academy were willing to take. She didn't expect Momo to make a risky offensive move to incapacitate the Teacup Club.
とても楽しみ。
Instead, she thought everything had fallen into place, so in the end, Saiko had to do something to make up for her loss, and was taken by surprise when Momo's friends came back for her, specifically them willing to go back for her.
なぜ戻って。今は仮免試験中。仲間より自分のことを考えて行動するはず。
I mean, the only thing standing between their way is a locked door, so why wouldn't they? You know, just because they had the opportunity to claim their targets and were separated by a locked door, they would abandon her, pass a test for themselves, and have her fend for herself? With this hardened, selfish, narrow-minded mentality, she clearly never had any intentions of helping her classmates. How many Sailor School girls were camping here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Now, use your quirk, Yaoyorozu.
And they're investing like 30 minutes, more or less, to enable only 2 of them to proceed. Even one of her loyal subordinates showed a visible expression of uncertainty. Apparently they're happy to follow under Best IQ Girl, and were content enough to give up their chances of getting their provisional license this year. Saiko Intelli has the means and competence to flawlessly formulate and execute plans with the use of her Tea Party Club, strategies, and operation. She just lacks integrity and empathy, 2 qualities essential for a leader and hero. Albeit Saiko isn't just the haughty, wealthy, high-class female archetype. She made a surprising yet admirable response.
さすがは言う。乾杯でしたよ。
Sincere humbleness, a quality that was unexpected from Saiko given her bitter, desperate attitude and last-ditch effort of,
あなただけでも脱落してもらうわ。
I guess with this lesson, she can finally learn the value of friendship, humility, and caution in the land of filler. Too bad it was a one-time appearance to highlight Momo's leadership and steady development of overcoming her struggles with low self-esteem. She could have been a great potential rival for Momo. They're both high-class, intelligent, and thick versus lick. Also, is having an IQ that high mean that you have high resistance to high-frequency sound?
こうしよう。攻撃。
So, what are your thoughts on Saiko Intelli?